think it might be time to try out this autopilot thingy. So I should be able to just go, okay, that's crazy. It's like actually driving itself. I can see how people get themselves in trouble with this autopilot thing because it appears to do a very good job. And I suspect it's one of those things that does a very good job right up until the point where it no longer does a good job.
When we first heard the word, we were told that Tesla was the real future of the automobile. This is the car that will change our lives and the way we motor about forever. Certainly, Tesla vehicles have changed the way we see our driving future. If our future is filled with chrome door handles that pimple at the slightest sign of moisture, a drivetrain that acts up more often than a wagon train, power equipment that seems to be powered by a hamster in a wheel, electric charging equipment that seems more fitting for delivering juice to a power mango juicer, and a vehicle that makes more annoying noises than a member of Congress. Oh, by the way, did I mention the crash tests? Let us get in and buckle up with a nationally syndicated expert on everything that has wheels, once again giving us all reason to be insanely jealous as she puts the pedal to the metal and comes to us from the Concours d'Elegance in Pebble Beach, California, the car coach, Lauren Fix. And before we begin with Tesla then, I'm going to say right now that because you're in Pebble Beach, I hate you. You do know that it is a friendly hate, though, because of where you are. So tell us a little bit about what you got going on in Pebble Beach.
Well, we're here for the whole Monterey Car Week, which includes the McCall's event, which we'll have a review on my website. Really an amazing site. It's for charity. And we've got airplanes and jets and cars from all over the world. And today we're at the Quail, which is a motorsports event. And you can see behind me there's a helicopter and a Lamborghini. And you may hear some cars revving their engines from McLarens to Paganis to Porsches. You never know. And then on Sunday is the huge Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance, which is a world-renowned event and absolutely spectacular. If you're a car person, you're thinking about investing in cars, between the auctions and the Pebble Beach Concours, this is heaven.
Yeah, okay, as soon as I get that new deal worked out, everything, and I get that 9-figure contract, then we're cooking with gas. Until then, I'm just going to have to appreciate it from afar.
Me too.
You too, right? Let's talk about not cooking with gas. And I alluded to this at the beginning with regard to Tesla, because it seems like every week there's something new. Now, please correct me if I'm wrong, but at one time, was not Tesla, the Model S, going to become the highest rated vehicle in its class? Consumer Reports said it was absolutely the future. They gave it and were ready to give it one of their highest ratings. But now it looks like this vehicle is falling apart from top to bottom. What's going on?
Well, I think the thing is, first off, we have not seen any changes in the Model S. They added autopilot, which was supposed to be a beta test. And listen, I don't want to be a beta tester. That's like, I folded a parachute. You want to give it a try, Ed? I'm not doing that. Yeah, that's my analogy, because just happened this past week, 4 people got into a Tesla for a test drive, and it burned down to the ground. We've had an accident. It's supposed to be the safest car out of there. 2 young children died, and the parent who was driving the vehicle, they're in the hospital. So if these vehicles are so safe and the autonomous car is supposed to be so great and the battery-powered vehicles are supposed to be the answer to the future, maybe we shouldn't be so quick to say that Tesla's the answer to all and they are the god.
But there's that simple question, because it was passing crash tests with ease. Elon Musk was coming out and telling us everything that it would have, and as I noted, there were great ratings on it, but it's fallen off so precipitously. What happened?
Well, that's the question. He has lost a lot of his people and his upper staff. Part of it is also the fact that there's also a federal investigation going on because of the autopilot, and the fact that, he's asking customers to beta test. You will never see Ford, Audi, BMW, Mercedes, Cadillac say, hey, would you like to beta test our vehicles? They do the testing. Then they give you a proven car that actually can keep you in the lane, such as the products that Volvo is putting out today. So, and there's a lot of testing going on with that, and they're actually working with Uber to put those cars on the road. They're going to start testing them in Pittsburgh in the next coming weeks. So they're doing it right. I don't like being the guinea pig, essentially.
No, I'm with you completely. Look, when I get a car, when I pay this kind of money, I want it to be working completely perfect from A to Z, 1 to 10, inside, outside, whatever. Just the mere thought. The mere thought that I'm paying to be a tester. Okay, I tell you what, you give me the car then, you insure me for about $3 million. I'll be happy to drive that car all day long.
It'd be more than $3 million, I think. I think $3 million is not enough.
Okay.
You know, the thing is, when you're buying a car that's in the $100,000 range, and that includes, you know, cars that we're seeing here. If I bought this Lamborghini, it's well more than $100,000. The last thing I want to be is your guinea pig. When I buy a car like this, I want to show open style. I want people to know I've arrived, and that car says I've arrived.
All right, two things we got to get to real quick here. Let's talk about Bosch and GW, the German auto supplier Bosch, a knowing and active participant in a decade-long scheme by Volkswagen to evade U.S. emissions laws. This is according to lawyers for U.S. owners of the VW diesel vehicles. Wait a minute, we've talked about VW before, but now we have collusion going on here. We have more than one manufacturer. We've got them all getting together here. I mean, is this the tip of an iceberg where we're going to see not just the manufacturers, but the suppliers and other people who are saying, let's make some money and do it illegally?
Well, let's hope that's not the thought process. I think the thought process was they were working based on the regulations that were available at the time. And the regulations are continuing to the EPA, just ramping up. And that's what you're seeing is, you know, this is what the rule was at the time. Now we produce the car. It doesn't meet the rule. Well, I guess they thought, we'll just try to get it through anyhow. And they may have done so for a while. But now that Bosch is involved, you're looking at a larger lawsuit. You've got class action lawsuits with consumers. And I own 2 diesel 3-liter vehicles, and I love them. And you're not getting them back, nor are you modifying them. So, I mean, this is the thing that people that own these cars love them. But the fact that we have been lied to, that's going to cost these companies money, and it's going to impact them, and it's impacted Volkswagen Group pretty dramatically.
My goodness, lying in the automobile manufacturing business. My goodness, lying. Well, they're almost like politicians now. Good to see. Everything's fine and life is going along just perfectly. All right.
Unfortunately,
Last thing we got to talk about here. I am not a Harley Davidson guy. I've been a motorcycle guy. I got my first bike when I was an embryo, I think, at that point. I mean, I've always had them, but I'm not a Harley guy. I like the Victory motorcycles. I love.
Oh, yeah.
I got a Honda Shadow 1100, one of the very first ones that ever came off the assembly line. I love that. So, but looking at Harleys, people love, eat, sleep, breathe. It's a culture. Now we've got Harley spending, they're agreeing to spend $15 million to settle an EPA complaint over engine devices that the EPA says caused excessive pollution. Wait a minute. Now we have Harleys are cheating as well? I mean, this is...
Not really.
Okay, tell me why.
Okay, first off, they sold an aftermarket exhaust pipe that you could buy, and it said aftermarket for off-road use only. I don't know how many Harleys are going off-road, but the fact is they sold it with that understanding through the factory as a dealer add-on. People were buying them if they wanted them. The fact is now they basically incriminated themselves, and they have to pay the fine to the federal government because the federal government doesn't want them to sell it. Remember, if the federal government had their choice, they want us all to be driving autonomous electric cars, which the power grid can't supply. People don't trust them. And, you know, here we are back to the full circle of if we don't trust the product that's autonomous, we don't have the full power grid that's been updated that's electric in order to support it. People don't want them. We want our SUVs and our crossovers, so they're going to penalize the good guys. Harley does make a great bike. I mean, I like Triumphs and Victories as well, but Harley does make a quality bike. People that love them, and the fact that they sold an aftermarket part sets a very bad precedence for the aftermarket in total, because now we're told if you sell anything in the automotive aftermarket, which is a $60 billion industry, federal government's going to put you in the spotlight. They're going to make you pay. Are they now deciding who the winner and losers are in business? I hope not.
30 seconds. Do you think Harley should have fought this because it's aftermarket?
I think they should have fought it. They should have shown the disclosure that they sold it that way. But they also probably don't want the negative light. And here we're talking about this, but it could have been worse. They could have spread it across the industry and caused people to consider other brands. So Harley Davidson can't take the risk. We'll pay the $12 million fine, and we'll walk away from it and not sell that pipe anymore.
By the way, you're going to drive that?
This opens up the aftermarket.
Are you going to drive that car behind you?
I would love to drive that car. That'd be spectacular. The Lamborghini. Any Lamborghini, Ferrari, Pagani, McLaren. I'm good.
You just spoke in a language that none of us know. We can't deal in it because it's just not reality.
I'm such a car enthusiast. I know, but you know what? In reality, you can buy yourself a beautiful Porsche. You don't have to go crazy. You can buy a Bosch.
There you go.
You can buy an Acura NSX that's out there. You can buy a Ford Mustang. You can buy a Charger.
I gotta go. I gotta go. Stop. You're killing us. LaurenFix.com is the place to get it all. Thanks, Lauren Fix. We appreciate your time. I want
Thanks,
to
Ed.
just say a couple of words here. I want to thank everybody here, my production staff, the engineering staff, everybody, the editors, the control room crew. This is our last, the hard line. But we are going to come back next week. We're going to bring you some programming that will absolutely knock your socks off. So I want to thank everybody here. It has been a pleasure and a privilege to work with these people. Rock on, true believers. Have a great weekend. Good night and good luck.